Hello and welcome to this Chosen Lifeline for Women. My name is Charmaine Jennings, your Chosen Life Specialist. Well, I have been called to challenge and change the worth, willpower, and wisdom of women. This episode is dedicated to willpower, and I want to especially talk about a very unique woman who really advocated and fought for ability rights. But first, I want to open up with willpower, and what does that mean, right? Willpower, we often use that to talk about having really the stamina, the discipline, the self-control to be able to make sure we're not giving in to those things that we're really drawn to, not eating that bucket of ice cream, right? The willpower to make sure that we are disciplined enough to accomplish a goal. And in coaching and relationship coaching and individual coaching, it is very important to make sure that we set goals for ourselves, short-term, long-term, and that we really help guide ourselves so that we stay on course and accomplishing them. And so we like to highlight women who really embody willpower. And first I want to talk about, willpower. In order to have willpower, you first need to understand that you have will, right? You have specifically free will. So we are in control of our attitude. We're in control of our decisions, our choices, our mindset, and these different things. We're given power, right, to really make sure that we're able to, my mood, my emotions, my attitudes, the things that come out of my mouth, the things that my hands do, the places my feet go. I am in control of those things. And we first need to acknowledge that we have power, be responsible, be accountable, and make sure that we take ownership for everything that we choose to do, because most of the things that we do, they literally are within our circle of control. And so the woman that we want to highlight today is called Helen Keller. Yes. All right. And she is a powerhouse and really known for being a strong abilities advocate. And what does abilities advocate mean? Well, personally, I'm a mother of a young daughter who, she's on the autism spectrum. Autism impacted her speech and some of her social development and things like that. And so really the whole village is working to support her. But because of Helen Keller, right, we have made so much progress in the abilities community. And so just to honor Helen Keller a little bit, she was born in 1808 and she transitioned in 1968, but she was born June 27th, 1808. So really tomorrow, she would be well over 100 years old. And we want to honor her because she was born a healthy baby, right? Many women leave the hospital, their babies are healthy. For her, she was born healthy. But at some point in young age, they noticed that she started to misbehave and there was a lot of behaviors. And because of a woman who was called to be in her life, a woman named Anne Sullivan was the name of her teacher. She came, she moved, she taught her sign language, she taught her about compliance and just different things, how to follow rules, things that most young children learn in school. She became the first deaf person to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree, fast forward, and graduated cum laude, okay, from Radcliffe College. And one thing that I'm super excited about, she began a writing career. So she's deaf and she's blind. She had a writing career. How many of us are still waiting to write that book? How many of us are still waiting? We have all of these goals that we set, short-term, long-term, and we're not accomplishing them because we're not really, pushing ourselves. We're not using that willpower to prevent ourselves from saying yes to the things that we need to probably say not now to, and say yes to the things that God is calling us to do and leading us and directing us to. But she became a successful writer. One of her best-selling books is called The Story of My Life. It's been translated into 50 different books. And also, she's a huge advocate, and she spent decades of her life advocating for the AFB, which is the American Foundation of the Blind. And because of that, she traveled to more than 35 countries, more than 5 continents, advocating for the rights, advocating for people like her, that their lives have value, their lives have meaning, right? It was that willpower. I'm sure people shunned her. I'm sure people didn't want to listen. I'm sure people said that this is not my problem, this is not my business, because guess what? I don't know anybody who's deaf or blind. Maybe this is not my situation, my story, so not my problem, but not her. She says, you know what? I'm going to teach all that will learn, and I'm going to speak to all who will hear and listen. And because of that, hundreds of years fast forward, my daughter, my child, and many people in our community today have privileges and have successes and have value. They have the opportunity to have a life and a life abundance. And I'm going to conclude with Helen Keller as a woman of willpower with a dangerous prayer and a couple of her quotes. And one was, I will not just live my life. I will not just spend my life. I will invest my life. And so that is one of the points I want to leave you. How are you investing your life? When you run into someone in the community who is unique, who, are resilient, they have will, power, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that you see them, that you hear them, and don't just do it to appease them or just to affirm them, but really to truly appreciate how they add value to our community, and how it is through willpower, it is through resilience, it is through that teacher, I'm sure, who had to really push through a lot of tough behaviors as she was growing up as a child. But what was the outcome? She learned American Sign Language, she learned to write, and because of that, she wrote a book that's been translated in over 50 different languages and has spread all across the nation and helped to open people's eyes that her life had meaning. And this is the dangerous pair. She said, for 3 things I thank God every day of my life: that he has vouchsafed my knowledge of his works; deep thanks that he has set in my darkness the lamp of faith; deepest thanks that I have another life to look forward to, a life joyous with light and flowers and heavenly song. So, we have a writer who's contributed so much, way more than just even that book, right? But man, she has blessed us so much just with her life, being an example, and now writing the things that she has, God has placed on her heart to really give to us. And hundreds of years later, we are still benefiting from her teachings, her writings, and the things that she had on her heart and her mind. So if you have been called to write a book, I know I have as well, and we have to get moving. We have to get, it's okay to help people along the way and to do what we're called to do, but definitely we have to be about our Father's business and make sure that you are truly using your gift, not utilizing excuses to prevent you from doing the things that you're called to do. My name is Charmaine Jennings. This is your chosen lifeline for women. We're highlighting willpower today and really acknowledging Helen Keller, a guru, a starch advocate for ability rights, and we appreciate her, and we're encouraging you to have willpower like Helen Keller.